Hey everybody, it's John again, and today we're moving on to the Collector's Choice, I believe, Masters Universe Classics figures. This is QUAKKE from Super7. This is their continuation of the line. I have not looked at these since they arrived at my door, so we will experience them together. They do come in the shipper box, like we were all used to over the last few years, so that's kind of cool. And we have QUAKKE in his package right here. Lots of detail on these guys. After looking at the Filmation figures, they are crazy covered in stuff. QUAKKE, the evil meteor smashing mutant from the second, or the restart of He-Man, the new adventures of He-Man, if you will. And it does come in the same blister package as we've been getting for the whole line, which is great for you that like to keep them in the box, which I have no idea where you put so many of them at this point. You'd have to have your entire house covered with these things. If you display them, Collector's Choice right there. Big old Super7 on the bottom, Super7 on the side. Oh, look at that. They brought the BIOS back, which is awesome. And on the back is a look at the other figures you can collect. Hey, I have them all because they all came together. This is the first of the evil mutants or space mutants from the toy line that I've had. I don't have any of the other ones. One of these days I'll grab them. See if I can get that to focus on there. There you go. If you would like to read that, you could probably pause it. I'm not going to go and read all of that right now. I'm just interested in getting this guy out. He looks pretty cool. Alright, give me a second here and we'll take a closer look. Here. Face. With QUAKKE, here we have that face sculpt for you. Look at this thing. It's so goofy, but it's great. You can see his individual teeth, his nose, his nostrils, the crack in his helmet. He's different than the Filmation figures and feel for me. Like all of his joints feel like, I don't know, like bouncy, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But all this techno details that he's got on are pretty cool. He is very soft goods on him. Everything's kind of floppy. And he does have the normal buck underneath. His armor looks like you should be able to remove it. Unless they glued it like they did the others. Yep, mine is glued on, so no taking that off. His nice kind of gray, silver, and gold details on him. So he's got all this techno sci-fi stuff. Really cool boots. Got this little connecting hose here onto his arm. And all these little jagged, broken, quaky marks that he has on him. And the one that travels all the way down his back there's a really nice touch. So he's a really cool design. And he's weird red colored blue pant techno guy. And he's pretty cool. Even on the underside, there's this cool little crack right there. They painted his fingernails, so a lot of detail on this guy. There's so much to look at. It's almost overwhelming on him. But he has a bobbly head, kind of. Like, you can move it back and forth, but there really should be like a neck hinge at this point on these guys of some kind. I don't understand why they didn't, and they're just bobbleheads now. And he just does this. These are really soft, so when you lift the arm up, they don't hinder anything. And they do rotate around. And he can swivel at his bicep, which that color contrast is really bizarre, the way it goes from gold to red, but I guess it works. Bends 90 degrees at the elbow. Rotates at the wrist, and he has no wrist hinge, unlike the Filmation figures. It's a little odd that they don't move the same kind of technologies back and forth. Maybe these hands belonged to something different mold at some point in time that didn't have the hinges on them. He does have an ab crunch. It's trapped inside his armor, but you can get him to move a little bit, and he does swivel. All of the figures so far have superb split ability due to the way the hinge and peg is. This one's legs seem to be on at the right length, which is nice since I had 3 out of, well, I guess just 2 out of the last that I looked at that didn't. His bottom piece is really soft and floppy, so he can move his leg forward to here, back to about here, but it does pull his armor into his leg. The thigh does swivel. Then there's all this cool little detail down to his 90-degree knees that almost feel ratcheted, which is kind of nice. He does have the boot swivel, and he does have rockers and hinges on his feet, so all around, pretty cool figure. He's a very weird and makes me want some of the other mutants to add to the weirdness. He comes with his Grabatron Meteor weapon, which he found supposedly he found a meteor, and he can cause quakes by hitting this thing against the ground. It's pretty heavy. The meteor itself came wrapped separately in a plastic bag, and if you open it up, it has some strange little techno stuff on the inside. I might have to, I don't know, I might have to watch some more episodes. I have the seasons. I haven't been able to finish them because they're just so goofy. But it does close back together if you can get it in the right shape. And then there are these little tiny holes for the Grabatron to grabbeth with. And it does go in almost a certain pattern to get it to fit correctly. And then when it's on there, it's, well, not as secure as you'd probably hope. So I wouldn't have him on the edge of your shelf, because if he falls off with this, it's going to fly into pieces and you're going to have to be searching for it for a little while. Now, I don't know how well it fits into his hands. Looks like maybe this hand's tighter, so we can put this piece in. Maybe that's why they didn't put any hinges on him, because the hinges would be hard to balance with this thing. Let's see if we can get him to stand with this super heavy weapon he has. It is so heavy. Oh, I don't know. You might have to sit it down on the ground for him to be able to stand with it. There, that'll work. So you can have him posed with his weapon. It's just going to have to lean down, because if you try to put it in his hands, you're going to have to do some crazy balancing. But overall, he's a pretty cool figure. They came, again, from Super7. Only pre-orders. If you're looking to get these guys after the pre-order was finished, you can't. You're going to have to look them up on eBay. Who knows what the prices are these things are going to go. You never know with toys anymore. One day you get the figure for $20, and the next day on eBay it's like for $300. So good luck if you want him. He's so weird, but he's pretty neat. I really like the sci-fi techno stuff on him. He'll probably look good with Darius and the other few New Adventures figures that I have. And again, he makes me kind of want them. Anyway, leave a comment down below if you've picked this guy up, and how did yours turn out. He seems to be much more completely put together and have better quality control. I wonder if they came from different teams, maybe? I don't know how how different it is between this line and the Filmation line, but let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Time for checking out this video, and if you're interested in seeing any more, you can click either one of the links that will be over here, and if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, there'll be a button down below where you can do that as well. And again, thank you.